Seems much more substantial.
It looks like a gun. You've been playing StarCraft for over a decade, right? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, closer to 20 years.
Jeez, wow. I keep forgetting that, like, video games have been around as long as they have. It sounds like a stupid thing to say out loud, but I feel like I remember StarCraft and Warcraft and that era of games being new, and like my older cousins playing them and stuff.
I still remember reading the PC Gamer magazine that had the alpha shots of StarCraft because, you know, at the time RTSs were a pretty big deal. For the most part, like Command and Conquer was played quite a bit. Warcraft II was a big game. And then StarCraft was coming out, and it was that only in space, and it had everything. It had your bug aliens that were invading the world, very Starship Troopers-esque. And then it had, you know, the humans, and it had the Protoss that were like the technological, maybe like Pharaoh-inspired kind of Aztecan race. It was really cool.
So is there anyone in the competitive StarCraft scene today who has been playing like less than that long? Like people who were started with StarCraft II? Is there anyone like
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, StarCraft, I mean, it's been around since '98, so what's really cool about it is for a lot of people, maybe they did start playing StarCraft II in 2010, and you know they picked it up when they were 15 or 12 years old. Still very young, but a new kind of young, right? Like half my age, basically. But their brothers played or their fathers played, so they actually come from it's not lineage is the wrong word, but like they have a love for it that dates back. It's almost nostalgic for them in a very different way. Whereas for me, like I said, I saw the game before it came out, and I played it the second it was available to me, and I haven't stopped for 16 years now. Wow. So when I talk about my past in StarCraft II, it dates back all the way to the beginning. But for other people, it's through other people a lot of times.
That's so, yeah. I mean, I remember growing up and my friend's dad playing a lot of Age of Empires and Age of Empires 2 and getting us, like forcing us as 10-year-olds to play Age of Empires. And even though those games didn't go on to develop competitive scenes, they're deeply nostalgic for me and my friends, especially the music and all that. I'm kind of interested in how it might affect your relationship with a game to have played it for literally most of your life. Like, do you play games besides StarCraft?
Oh yeah. All the big console releases. As far as the PC is concerned, it's like a funnel. I generally just end up back at StarCraft II and StarCraft, but I was a big fan of XCOM. I played a lot of games. Yeah, mostly the console ones though, to get away from the PC.
That makes sense. And do you treat them differently, or do they feel different to you?
Yes, I call a lot of things my golf at this point in time, so it's starting to probably lose its luster, but StarCraft is it's not just my passion, it's obviously my profession, it's the source of my income, but when I'm playing or interacting with StarCraft, I'm on, and I'm usually very social. It's a mostly online internet-based game, so you're not really having any like quiet time with yourself. So what I do, and why I like to get away from the computer, is I like to go play some Call of Duty, I like to go play Metal Gear Solid. These are not your typical like calm down games, but because I don't play them as much with a mic next to my face and on camera in front of thousands of people, it feels much more detoxing and calming. So that's kind of my relationship.
It's therapeutic. I mean, Metal Gear is a deeply solitary franchise in pretty much every sense of the word. I can see how that would be.
Even in game, you feel kind of alone.
Exactly. So it seems like the kind of perfect antidote almost. Yeah, that is fascinating to me. And do you find yourself playing StarCraft in that way ever? Do you ever play StarCraft off camera or alone?
Yeah. You know, gaming for a lot of people kind of starts at the love for it kind of develops as like an escape. So for me, when I was 12 years old, again, 16 years ago now at this point, around '98 when the game came out, my parents were splitting up and going through a divorce. So the game actually had a huge, it was like my unknown best friend. I didn't like give it a name and I didn't call it up and be like, hey, StarCraft, you want to play? Nothing like that. But when things got tough, that was where I went to be safe and calm. And that feeling, although nostalgic at this point, has carried on. Like, absolutely, I unplug sometimes and just say, I want to just play some StarCraft. And it's kind of funny because I'm not a pro gamer anymore, but I used to be. I would play 10 hours a day and then be like, okay, we're done. I'd go spend some time. But at night, it's like some people fire up the TV to watch a movie, other people go for a walk. I wanted to play 2 or 3 StarCraft games, not on camera, just to calm down.
I mean, I think that makes sense. It's crazy with the prevalence of Twitch streaming, and I think the increase in availability of playing games for an audience now. People are starting to realize how different it feels to play games on camera. It's a totally different thing, and it's also interesting to me how games can be therapeutic at certain points in your life. I think that's something that not a lot of people talk about, but there are absolutely times where it's beneficial to have something else to focus on and think about and invest in. And
especially a game, not to get too preachy, but like Starcraft II is RTS, it's real-time strategy, so it's actually, I feel like it's helped me in a lot of ways develop a very critical and even strategic mind, and it's not just helped me in Starcraft land, but also kind of elsewhere in life. And while it was therapeutic, it was educational at some level as well.
Yeah, I think it is probably among the more cerebral esports. Nothing against like competitive COD players or anything, but something about the tactics of an RTS and the micromanagement involved just seems like daunting almost to someone like me. But yeah, it is a fascinating world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.